All right. So, hi, good evening, Ryan. Welcome to our class, LMS BIP AT1B. All right. So, again, for this evening, I'll be your teacher, Miss Cha of Alaska English. All right. So, before we proceed formally to the lessons that we're discussing, Ryan, can I ask, how are you today?
I'm fine.
All right. Are you feeling well already?
Yes.
Okay, I was told right now. I was told last time that you weren't feeling well. So I'm very glad that you are feeling well right now. Okay, so now we are just going to continue the topics that we're discussing in this unit or in this course. Okay, so with this one, we are going to talk about the simple present, right? Or that's probably the last topic that we talk about. And we all know that when we say simple present or the simple present tense in English, all right, it indicates an action which is happening at the present. But, all right, as we all know, it isn't necessarily for action that is happening right now, but also it indicates, all right, unchanging situations, general truth or factual information, right? The habits or the daily routines, fixed arrangements, and some frequently occurring events. Okay, so that is the meaning of simple present tense. All right, so what we're going to do tonight is we are going to talk about the simple present negative. All right, as we all know, all right, the only thing that we add to make something negative in English, oh sorry, to make something negative in English is the word not. All right. So if we talk about the simple present, okay, simple present in negative state, of course, we're making or dealing with do not or don't, and does not or doesn't. Okay. So please excuse me. Sorry about that. Our PowerPoint exit. Okay. So
Okay.
here we go. So now in this one, all right, so it has the same pattern in the simple present. The only thing in negative, again, we are just adding the word not. Okay? So here in full form, do not, short form or the contraction don't, does not, contraction form or short form doesn't. Okay? So here, how about with this? Ryan, choose the correct alternatives. All right,
Hmm.
complete the information, Ryan. We form the negative of. Can you read it for me?
Uh, we, they, forms, we don't,
Okay. Next one.
plus verb.
Don't plus verb. Correct. The next one.
He, she, it, from, uh, doesn't, plus verb.
All right. And next, in the third person, singular. Hmm. Ah, Glenn, microphone. In third person singular.
Wait me a second, wait me a second, wait me a second.
Okay, all right.
In third person singular negative.
In third person singular, negative sentences, the main verb
Have, doesn't have, doesn't have.
doesn't have an S, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So with that, so we tend to, all right, we tend to not to put, all right, an S to our main verb or the action word. So how about this on the next activity? Ryan, I want you to tell teacher, all right, in here, complete the sentences with the negative form of the simple present. So use short forms of the verbs in parentheses. All right, take a look at number one or the example. He's a mechanic. He doesn't work in an office. All right. Hmm. How about number one? The verb
I
is on the parenthesis.
I don't study Russian at school.
I don't study Russian at school. Continue. Number 2.
Pablo doesn't play soccer on Wednesdays.
All right. Doesn't play. Very easy. Number 3, please.
We don't go to school on Sundays.
We don't go. 4.
My brother doesn't like pop music.
Okay. Doesn't like. Number 5.
Anna Anna doesn't do.
Anna doesn't do her homework in the morning before school. Number 6.
Our grandparents doesn't no, our grandparents don't live near our house.
Correct. Number 7.
Sam and Sam and Joe don't finish school at 3:30.
Okay. And number 8.
Betty doesn't take a shower in the morning.
Doesn't take a shower in the morning. Okay. How about in this one, in number 2? Write negative sentences, then correct the sentences. So this is my example. So in here, Louis doesn't have lunch at 2 o'clock. She has lunch at 1 o'clock. So you're going to make the negative and then you need to correct the sentence or the statement. So let's give it a try. How about number 1? My parents write
My
letters.
parent my parents don't write
Mm,
my parents don't write letter. My parents write email.
all right. So my parents doesn't write letters. They you change my parents with
They
they they
they
write
they write emails.
they write emails. Number 2.
The film doesn't start at 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 p.m. The it
It, correct. It,
it start it starts at 9 p.m.
correct. Number 3.
Helen doesn't karate. She she the judo.
Correct. Number 4.
Mr. William teaches math.
Negative.
Mr. Mr. William doesn't teach math.
Doesn't teach math. All right. Pronoun for Mr. William.
Mr. William teaches science.
Or you could say he, right? He teaches science. How about number 5?
Mr. and
Mrs. Alvarez.
Alvarez and don't come from Spain.
Mm.
Mr. and
Oh, what is the pronoun for Mr. and Mrs. Alvarez?
Mr. and Mrs. Alvarez come from Brazil.
Or
Brazil.
what pronoun will replace
Ah,
Mr. and Mrs.?
ah,
All right, we can use they.
don't. Okay, say.
They come from Brazil. How about number 6?
Tom goes. Tom.
Neg-
Tom goes.
Negative.
Tom doesn't go to school in Seattle.
Seattle. All right.
Seattle.
Tom doesn't go to school in Seattle. What pronoun for Tom?
Tom goes to Tom goes to school in Boston.
All right. Or he. Tom, contrae, our right pronoun is he. He goes he goes to school in Boston. All right. Okay. So also with that, in that case, as you see, to avoid the repetition, see, Louis doesn't have lunch at 2 o'clock. Instead of saying Louis again, all right, we change it to she. All right. My parents, all right, they, the film, it, Helen, she, so on and so forth. How about if you write questions, all right, and then as you see, there's a pattern on the end. If it's a check, meaning it is affirmative, absolutely a yes. If you see the symbol at the end of this, meaning it disagree, all right? Or the answer is no. So take a look. So this is the clue. So you need to make a question. Does Harry live in Canada? Yes, he does. How about number 1? How can you make a question?
Do do
Luis and Anna, what are you going to?
do Luis and Anna speak English at home?
All
No,
right.
they doesn't. And no, they don't.
All right. Do Luis and Anna speak English at home? The answer is
No, they
no,
don't.
they don't. Correct. How about number 2?
Mm. um, Da Luisa goes to school.
Does
No, yes,
does Luisa go to your school? Mm,
yes, she does.
yes, she does. How about number 3?
Do you get up at 7 o'clock?
Mm.
No, I don't.
Do you get up at 7 o'clock? The answer is
No, I don't.
do you get up at 7 o'clock? No, I don't. How
I get
about
up.
number 4?
Do you and Martin study music?
Do you and Martin study music?
Yes, we do.
All right. Do you and Martin study music? So the answer is yes, we.
Yes, we
All
do.
right. Okay. So how about with this one? All right. So in this one, mm, the next one that we're going to do here is in communication. So asking and answering personal question. All right. So by your understanding, Ryan, what do we mean by personal question? What do you mean by personal question? Mm.
Mm,
What is your understanding when we say personal question? What is that? Asking and answering a personal question.
um,
Okay. All right. Okay. So now, so when we say personal question, meaning we are dealing with something. All right. So it is related. All right. Related into someone's. All right. Someone's it's like someone's information. All right. Personal. It means it is owned by you. It's yours, personal. That's yours, personal questions or personal information. So asking and answering personal questions. So in this case, on our example in communication, I have right here in this one is he is inquiring, all right, into a certain receptionist. All right, that is why. All right, so the receptionist is asking Lucas for his personal information. So, a personal information, of course, not everyone knows about it because it's personal, it's very private, right?
yes,
So in this one, so what are the things that consist of something that is a personal or private? So of course the address, the phone number, and then the email address, right? So how do you read this in English? This symbol. Do you know?
Um,
Mm. This symbol right there is read as at. All
at
right. Yes, at. And then the dot. All right. Okay. So
right.
dot com, or the period, right? For example, I have here. So my email address is akalchat at gmail.com. All right. This is the example. Akalchat at gmail.com. All right. Okay, so I have here this one. So the receptionist, all right? And then you'll be the receptionist and I'll be the one to answer you. So in the following guideline, you're going to look for the answer and then you're going to help me. What do you think is the question asked? Okay? So here, an example is, what's your first name, please? It's Lucas. All right. What do you think is number one?
And
Okay.
when and what is your last name?
All right. Okay. And what is your last name? Correct. It's Tizera.
Mm. How do you spell that?
How do you spell that? Correct. Teixeira.
Thanks. Um, how old are you,
I'm 14.
Lucas?
I'm 14.
And and where are you from?
I'm from Brazil.
Where do you live in Brazil?
Mm, it's I live in Recife.
Uh, what is your address?
It's 39 Rua dos Navegantes, Recife.
And what your cell phone number?
It's 817-009-0014.
Do you have an email address?
Yes, I do. It's lucas@huya.br.com.
Great. Fine.
One final, correct. Final
One
question.
final questions. Uh, what language do you speak?
What languages?
What
Languages do you speak?
languages do you speak?
I speak Portuguese and English. All right. So also whenever you are, by the way, additional information, whenever you are stating personal information in a certain number, in this case, in a phone number. So as we know, we read this as zero, right? Okay. In this case, if you are referring to a number or a cell phone number, you could just simply say O. O. Okay.
Oh, oh,
Yeah. Take a look
oh,
in this.
nine.
Oh, so here it's 83255920002. Oh, that's zero. See? 002. All right. Okay. So in this case, how about if I ask you, what's your first name, please?
It's a farm.
Okay. And what is your last name?
It's a bike.
How do you spell that?
P H I H I M. No. BICH.
All
H.
right. Okay. Thanks. How old are you, Bike?
I am 12.
And where are you from?
I'm from Vietnam.
Where do you live in Vietnam?
I live in Vĩnh Phúc.
All right. What's your address? It's okay. You can invent. Okay, Ryan, by the way, since we are having asking and answering personal question, you don't have to answer the true information because of course I respect that it's private. It's just that you can create, like for example, I live in 123 Sontai Street. It's okay as long as you respond correctly to the question. But the information, it doesn't have to be true. It you can create your own, okay? All right. Uh, how about this? What's your address? You can just invent. No need, Ryan, no need to tell me the exact information. You can invent. It's, hmm, all right. I think you're figuring it out. It's okay. All right. So just tell me when you're ready, okay?
Ừm,
All right. What's your
lên này
address?
lên này lên bao what?
All right. Okay. So how about if teacher asks you, what's your cell phone number? Oh, you can just invent. Oh, you can just read the example. Just read the example, Ryan.
SE098 no
Mm.
098669966.
All right. Okay. All right. So with that, okay. So do you have an email address?
Ừm,
Do you have an
yes, I
email?
do.
All right. What is it?
Uh,
It's
Avin Avinam 2014 at gmail.com.
all right. Okay. Great. So one final question. What languages do you speak?
I speak Vietnamese and English.
All right, perfect. Okay. So with this one, so can you give me a situation where we need to give our personal information? Ryan, do we have to give our personal information all the time? Do you think it's necessary or it's important that we always give our personal details or personal information? Yes or no?
Yes.
Are you sure? Shall we just give it to someone that we don't know?
No, 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 no.
Oh, why? What is the risk if we are just giving away our information?
Hmm.
Mm. The thing is, it might be used in.
Maybe
Okay. Hmm. why I can why I can just see your eyes right now. You're getting little but very little right now. Okay. All right. Sit properly. Okay. Now I'll be helping you. Of course, it's not necessary that we give away our personal information to somebody else. All right. Especially our identification card or the ID, right? With our
yeah,
picture. It is because it might be used, all right, to ascertain, we call that a fraud. Can you say fraud?
fraud.
All right. Or the word that we're familiar with, it might be used for a
scam.
scam, right? That somehow, all right, will cause you trouble in the future. All right, so that's the thing. We don't just give away our personal information. All right, especially this. These are the most important thing. It is highlighted already, especially the address, the phone number, and the email address. All right. All right. So of course you are a very smart man. I know that you know it when to say it, or all right, I know you can recognize it already. All right, so when and how to analyze, all right, on what way shall we give or not. Okay, like for example here we are on a reception, or of course like we are on the embassy, on the airport. Okay, so of course those are the kind of things that you are feel secure, meaning you just need to give your factual information. All right. So now in here, with this one, these are the pattern when you are asking somebody else. So we already do the dialogue part a while ago. So how do you spell that? All right. So in some cases, people tend to spell the name. It is because of it varies in their nationality. Kuktik, right? Is that how you say nationality? Kuktik? All right. Because there are some names that aren't familiar. Not everyone is familiar with, right? Like, for example, in the Vietnamese name, it might cause confusion, right? For example, I will say, what is your name? My name is Pom. How do you spell that, right? So how you spell is different on how you read it, right? So Pom in Vietnamese is P-H-O-N-H. Am I correct? Ah,
Yes,
P-H-O-N-G. Pom,
yes.
right? But if you're going to read it like in American way, or the way you read it in English, it is read as Pong, right? But in your case, it's Pom, right? So the thing is, there are some certain cases that we need to spell it out because, of course, the nationality is a bigger factor. Okay. So now moving into in this, how about you ask Miss Cha? Hmm.
Mm,
How about you ask me regarding my personal information? Of course, I won't give the factual one, but how about we practice that you are asking question?
okay.
Hmm.
What what's your first name?
It's chat.
Last name?
Oh, how about you do the pattern? Okay, and make it more formal. Okay, and for example, you are a receptionist.
Okay. And what what is your last name?
It's akal.
How do you spell that?
ACAL.
Thanks. How old are you? Cha.
I'm 14. Continue.
Okay, okay.
It's okay. We're just having a role play. All
And
right. Mm.
and where are you from?
I'm from Philippines.
Where do you live in Philippines?
I live in Laguna.
Uh, where do you have an email address?
Yes, I do. It's akelchat@gmail.com.
And what is your cell phone number?
It's 832-559-2002.
Read again.
I just read the example right here. 832-559-2002. All right. Mm.
What length grade on one final question. What language do you speak?
I speak Filipino and English. All right. Though I'm planning to study Vietnamese in the future. But yeah, I'm speaking two languages. All right. So now we are going to continue with this one. All right. So now, very good. So I think no need to focus further on this because this is very self-explanatory, right? Meaning you know it exactly, right? So when you already understood the first name, last name, address, city, phone number, email address, and languages. Do you have question about it
Mm,
or no question?
I think it's no.
All right, yeah, because it's as what I've said, it's very self-explanatory, right? So now, moving into this one. All right. So we also have like some sort of already have a glimpse or an idea already about the question words, right? So Ryan, with your understanding, what do we mean by question words?
Uh, it is so easy, but I don't know how to explain to you.
It's easy. These are the words that we
Yeah, the
use
word question we
th-
use to question
to ask a
a person
question.
question.
Right. So question
Mm,
words are simply the words that we use to ask a question, right? Question words. Okay. So question words compare to, all right, Ryan, I will check if you still remember. So in English, we have the yes, no
question.
questions, right? With short answers. All right. How do you compare this to question words?
Uh, Simple pair with short uh, answer.
Mm. Is
Yes, no.
answerable by
Yes, no.
yes or no only. So that's the option. How about the question word?
Question what
Question words, on the other hand, they are
there more question
they are more
uh, specific.
yes, they are more specific, right? We don't say, Ryan, where do you live? No, right? We don't say that, right? Because in question words, they are very specific. All right, let's see. Ryan, when do we use what? Let's see if you still remember it. We use what if we are asking for
Thing
or a while ago. What did you say a while ago in asking personal question? A certain
information.
information, right? So the example that we have here is what do you do on weekends, right? How about when do we use where?
Where is
It
we
is
use
used.
for
Mm,
places.
all right, correct. So we use where if we are asking for a certain, correct, a certain place, all right, or places, location, or even a certain possession, right? That's why we have the example, where does he teach? Okay. How about in the use of when? When do we use when?
We use when with the time
All right. When we are asking for a specific time or,
week.
all
No,
right. So we use it to a specific or it refers to time or a certain
mm,
occasion. right? Occasion or celebration. When is your birthday? When is the teacher's day in Vietnam, right? So that is a certain occasion. Okay. So how about when do we have math? All right. And then of course this is very easy. What time? Of course, what time? It answers an information regarding a specific time. How about how? When do we use how?
Uh,
We use it if we are asking for a specific. How is for who is that? All right. Ryan, we use how if we are asking for a specific
manner
o-
process.
manner or process, right? For example, Ryan, how do you cook pho? So that is a process. How do you spell that? So that is a manner. How do you go to school? All right. So I travel by bus. So that is a certain manner. Now, how about if teacher asks you, all right, Ryan, when do we use who?
We if who for person and person
Person or people, right?
or animal.
As the subject, right? Where do we use which?
Um,
Hmm.
we use which for we use which for things.
Yeah, a thing or meaning you are providing a certain
The choices. Correct.
choices or option. All right. So it's like, Ryan, which subject do you like? English or math? Ryan, which drink do you love? Coffee or soda? So there is an option. There are choices. So we use which. Roy?
Yes.
Okay. How about when do we use why?
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 We we use for question.
Question? Yeah, we use for a question. Absolutely, because that's a question word, right? All of them. What specific question? Hmm.
Mm,
If we are seeking for a certain, kindly read. If we are
reason
seeking for a specific
reason
or
explain explanation
explanation. For example,
explanation.
all right, so Ryan, why are you late? All right, Ryan, why why you didn't open your why you didn't go to the party? Okay, so meaning we use why if you are seeking into a seeking for an answer, or you are seeking for a certain reason or explanation, right? It also answerable by because. Okay, because. All right, so with this one, how about whose?
Um, unknown.
You don't know. So we use whose on the other hand if we are referring into possession. For example, whose ball pen is it? All right. Whose phone is it? Meaning we are looking who is the owner. Okay? Whose? Possession. When you say possession, It also the same with ownership.
owner, same.
Ownership. Okay. Whose whose boyfriend is that? Whose teacher is that? All right. Okay. Now, how about this one? Reorder. Ryan, up. Kindly open your camera. We only got 4 minutes, please. Kindly open your camera now. Now, complete the following. Reorder the question, then write true answers. Where do you live? I live in Santiago. Number one.
When do you get up? What time do you get up?
Mm. Answer the question.
I get up at um, uh,
I get up at.
4 4 a.m.
Really? That's too early. How about number two?
Where does your dad work?
Where does your dad work?
My dad work at home.
All right. How about number three?
When do you have lunch?
Mm.
I have lunch at 11:30.
Number four?
What time do you go to bed?
Mm.
I go to bed at 10:30 p.m.
Number six?
What time do you start? What time does school start?
Mm.
It's 7 p.m.
Your
No,
school
no, 7 7
7
a.m.
7 a.m. All right. Okay. All right. So, Ryan, sadly, the more I want to learn with you, but sadly, we don't have much time left. So, don't worry because we're going to see each other again for next week. All right. So, for your homework, Ryan, so I want you to have an advanced reading in Unit 6 Skills Schools with a Difference. All right. Please have an advanced reading about schools with a difference. Roy?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So sadly, it's time for me to say goodbye. That will be all for this evening. Tambiet and have a good night. Goodbye,
Have
Ryan.
a good night. Bye, teacher.